Welcome, UCL fans, to our Season 2, Week 5 review and ranking for the United Championship League. I am your host, Nintendo Fanatic 64. I've watched all the matches, crunched the numbers, and found out what I believe is a fair and accurate ranking system for the UCL. If you do enjoy this video, please leave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, where I try to do these videos every Tuesday as well as Friday for preview videos. But let's go ahead now and hop into the review of what happened this last week. Starting off with our first match, we had the Bristol City Blazekins, who are 2-2, taking on the Bronx Bearticks, who are 3-1. And it was a 2-0 victory for the Bronx Bearticks. MVP of the match went to Manaphy of the Bronx Bearticks, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. Moving on to the second match of the week, we had the Long Island Reggie Rockies, who were 1-3, taking on the South Beach Slow Kings, who were 0-4. And it was a 3-0 victory for the South Beach Slow Kings. MVP of the match went to Electros from the South Beach Slow Kings, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. So we're going to move on to our third match, where we had the Newcastle Nido Kings, who were 2-2, taking on the Tucson Terrakions, who were 3-1. And it was a 4-0 victory for the Tucson Terrakions. MVP of the match went to Pincer from the Tucson Terrakions, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. Moving on to our fourth match, which I have to make a correction. If you watched my preview video, I had the Carolina Killdeers at 2-2. They're actually 3-1. And the Grand Canyon Greninjas, who are 1-3. And it was a 4-0 victory for the Carolina Killdeers. MVP of the match went to the Mega Scizor from the Carolina Killdeers, managed to get 5 knockouts this week. So we're going to move on now to our fifth match. We had the Tulsa Talon Flames, who are 1-3, taking on the Pittsburgh Pichus, who are 3-1. And it was a 1-0 victory for the Pittsburgh Pichus. MVP of the match went to the Mega Lopunny from the Pittsburgh Pichus, who managed to get 3 knockouts this week. Moving on to our sixth matchup, we had the Toronto Tokakis, who were 2-2, taking on the Philadelphia Feraligators, who were 0-4. And it was a 2-0 victory for the Philadelphia Feraligators. MVP of the match went to Purugly from the Philadelphia Feraligators, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. Moving on to our seventh match, we had the St. Louis Rampardos, who were 2-2, taking on the Manchester Magnazones, who were also 2-2. And it was a stunning 6-0 sweep for the Manchester Magnazones. The MVP of the match is the Pokemon who was responsible for this sweep, which was the Meloetta, who after a single command managed to eliminate all of the St. Louis Rampardos team. Finally, we come to the hype match of the week. We had the Real Maril, who are the only undefeated team so far, taking on the Durham Druddigons. And it was a 3-0 victory for the Durham Druddigons. MVP of the match goes to the Sigalith from the Durham Druddigons, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. So that's going to do it for the review. Now we're going to move on to the rankings. Normally I have the rankings posted up here, but unfortunately the flash drive that I keep all my files on for this will not be recognized in this computer. It's being recognized in my other computer that I used to do my recordings on, but is not powerful enough to actually do the recording. So that's why if you saw me looking down a lot, I'm looking over my actual notes that I printed off, and then I actually have what would have been up in the corner here, so I'm just going to be reading these off. I don't have on here what they were from previous weeks on, so we're just going to go ahead, go to the list from 16th to first place. So in 16th place, we have the Philadelphia Feraligators, record of 1-4 and a differential score of -11. At number 15, we have the South Beach Slow Kings, also with a 1-4 record. Their differential score is -10. Moving on to the 14th place, we have the Grand Canyon Greninjas, who are 1-4 and a differential score of -9. At number 12, we have the Long Island Reggie Rockies, who also have the record of 1-4 and a differential score of -7. Actually, no, that's a tie for 12th between Long Island Reggie Rockies and the Tulsa Talon Flames. Tulsa Talon Flames also 1-4 with a differential of -7. In a tie for 10th place, we're moving on to the teams that are now 2 and 3. We have the Newcastle Nido Kings and the St. Louis Rampardos with records of 2 and 3 and a differential score of -7. In ninth place, we have the Bristol City Blazekins with a 2 and 3 record and a differential score of -3. In the eighth place, we have the Toronto Tokakis, who are 2 and 3 as well, with a differential score of 0. Moving on to the top half of the brackets, we have in seventh place the Manchester Magnazones, the only team that have a 3 and 2 record right now. Their differential score is 3. Moving on to the rest of the teams, all the rest of these teams have a record of 4 and 1 right now. So definitely some of the top contenders to be moving on into the playoffs in another 10 weeks. In sixth place, we have the Tucson Terrakions. Their differential score is 3. In fifth place, we have the Carolina Keldios, who have a differential score of 5. In fourth place, we have the Durham Drudguns, who have a differential score of 9. Sorry for the motorcycle outside. In a tie for second place, we have the Pittsburgh Pichus and the Bronx Bearticks, who both have a differential score of 10. And in first place are the Real Maril, whose differential score is 12. So that kind of does it for our ranking and review. If you all did enjoy this video, please leave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to let me know down below what match you enjoy most this week and who you think would have also been like the MVP of those matches. And don't forget to check back on Friday, where I will be doing my weekly review, or like a preview for week going into week 6. Oh, also before I do forget, after the end of this week's, there was a trade that actually ended up happening between the South Beach Slow Kings and the which was at Long Island Reggie Rockies. The Long Island Reggie Rockies traded away Golbat for the Togetic from the South Beach Slow Kings. So I'll probably make a mention of that as well in my next video for the actual preview as well, just so everyone is aware if they didn't watch all the way through. But thank you all again very much for watching. You have yourselves a good time. Take care and goodbye.